Today we are taking another look at Famous Faces Carved in Stone by Frederick Nelson. We're just going to look at some different things about this story. We're going to take a look at main idea and details. And remember, main idea is the big idea in the story, and the details tell more about the big idea. It gives things like the who, the what, the how, the when, the why, the where. We're also going to look at some of the things that the writer did in this text that's different from some other text. We're going to take a look at his use of declarative sentences. Now, declarative sentences are the ones that have a period at the end. They tell you something. So this is an informational text, so it will have a lot of telling declarative sentences. It's got a lot to tell you. And we're also going to take a look at the use of photos that this author decided to use to help convey his meaning, his message. So let's take another look at Famous Faces Carved in Stone. Mount Rushmore is an amazing sight. It has the faces of 4 presidents. They are carved into a mountain. Mount Rushmore is in the Black Hills of South Dakota. Gutzon Borglum created the stone carving. He chose the location because of its huge rocks. He worked on the carving for 14 years. Now, let's stop right here and talk about page 32 and 33 about what could the main idea be on these 2 pages. Maybe that Mount Rushmore is an amazing sight, right? That's what it starts out with. That's the very first sentence of the text. Mount Rushmore is an amazing sight. And then it goes to tell you, the rest of these 2 pages tell you more about Mount Rushmore. And it gives you the details, like the 4 faces carved into a mountain. It's in the Black Hills of South Dakota. The Gutzon Borglum was the one who created it, and he worked on it for 14 years. So Mount Rushmore is an amazing sight, is your main idea, and all the other things that go with it will help provide your details. Mount Rushmore National Memorial honors the growth of our country and its great leaders. The first section shows the face of George Washington. He was the first president of the United States. He stands for our country's freedom. The second face is Thomas Jefferson. He was the 3rd president of the United States, and he wrote most of the Declaration of Independence. Jefferson represents the idea of democracy, or rule by the people. Now, let's take a second here and do a little compare and contrast. Now remember, compare, that's how they're alike. Contrast, that's how they're different. So first, let's compare them. Let's tell, how are they alike? Obviously, they were both presidents of the United States. George was our first, and Thomas Jefferson was our 3rd. So how are they different? Well, for one thing, Thomas Jefferson was the 3rd president, and George Washington was the 1st. That's different. George Washington represents freedom on the Mount Rushmore, and Thomas Jefferson represents democracy, or rule by the people. The third face is Theodore Roosevelt. He was young when he became president. He created our national parks. As a world leader, he made our country strong. He stands for leadership. The fourth face is Abraham Lincoln. He believed that it was wrong for people to be slaves. He led the nation during the Civil War to keep our country united. He stands for fair treatment for all people. All right, I want to stop here and just think about what the author has done, his use of declarative sentences. So telling sentences, of course, are called declarative sentences. What is the end punctuation for a telling sentence? What's the end mark? A period, right? If a sentence is telling you something, it ends with a period. There are a lot of declarative sentences. Just take a look at page 36. How many declarative sentences do we see? The third face is Theodore Roosevelt. That's 1. He was young when he became president. That's 2. He created our national parks. That's 3. As a world leader, he made our country strong. That's 4. And then he stands for leadership. That's 5. Those are 5 telling sentences. And that's really to be expected in an informational text where the author's main purpose is to give you information and to tell you things. All right, let me turn the page here. Mount Rushmore is a popular attraction. People around the world come to visit this monument. United States citizens and people from other countries come to the mountain. They know that Mount Rushmore represents freedom. Mount Rushmore has 4 faces. Washington stands for freedom. Jefferson stands for rule by the people. Roosevelt stands for good leadership. Lincoln stands for fair treatment. All right, so let's take another look at another thing that the author decided to do. And he decided that instead of including drawings, that he would include actual photographs for you to see. So this kind of adds to some of the things that the text already tells you. I mean, you can kind of take a look at this picture, and you can see how enormous, how huge Mount Rushmore might be, because look how little the people are, and the mountain back there that just stands so high above where they are. So you can tell from the photograph just how huge Mount Rushmore is, and that kind of adds something to what you know, right? And then the picture that he decided to include on page 39 with the fireworks above Mount Rushmore is kind of cool. Where now you know, he didn't tell you in the text, but now you know that there are firework displays at Mount Rushmore. And I hear that at the 4th of July, this fireworks display over Mount Rushmore is awesome. And that's one of the things I want to see someday. So using pictures can help the author tell even more information than the text does. All right, we have 2 vocabulary words that we need to find here. The first one is this word right here. The second face is Thomas Jefferson. So we're looking at the word second, and that is an ordinal word. Remember when we talked about ordinal words in math, like first, second, third, it tells the place of something.
Second, next after the first. The girl in green was second. Second.
All right, so second just means next after the first, right? It tells what place she was in. There's first, and then there comes second, right? One more word. There it is, popular. Mount Rushmore is a popular attraction. Okay, so popular means liked by many people. So when it says Mount Rushmore is a popular attraction, Mount Rushmore is liked by many people, is an attraction that is liked by many people. All right, that is all I have for you today. And I really think that reading about our presidents and the national monuments has been very interesting.